In this video, we're going to do multiplication and then division, and we're going to simplify each rational expression. So the first thing I want you to do with these problems is factor. Factor first. Okay? Factor first, and I promise you your life will be way better. If I factor this, okay, AC method, I got to use that here since A is not 1. So multiply through, need to add to -5, multiply to -24. So -8 times 3 gets me, adds to -5. Good. So that's 2x squared minus 8x plus 3x minus 12. GCF, so I can pull a 2x out, and that leaves me x minus 4. And then here I can pull a positive 3 out, and that leaves me x minus 4. So I have x minus 4 times 2x plus 3. Okay? Now over here, what you got here? Well, this is an a equal to 1, so I can actually use my trick. If I multiply to -6, add to -1. 3 times 2, if I make 3 negative, -3 plus 2 gets me -1. So this tells me there's an x minus 3 factor, and this tells me there's an x plus 2 factor. Since it's a positive 2, it's x plus 2. And since it's a -3 here, it's an x minus 3 there. Okay? So I'm going to rewrite this down here. So I've got x minus 4 times 2x plus 3, and then multiplied by x minus 3 times x plus 2, all divided by x minus 3 times x minus 4. Is there anything that will simplify? I think so. X minus 4 cancels x minus 4, and the x minus 3 cancels the x minus 3 there. So what am I left with? I'm left with 2x plus 3 times x plus 2. But wait, I've broken my golden rule. Before I simplify, I have to set the denominator equal to 0. So set the denominator equal to 0. So x minus 3 and then x minus 4 equal to 0. What are values we got to watch out for? We got to watch out for x minus 3 equal to 0 and x minus 4 equal to 0. That happens when x is equal to 3 and when x is equal to 4. So as long as x does not equal 3 or 4, we're good to go. This is our solution right here. Okay? So that's how we multiply. When we multiply things, we multiply across the numerator, then we multiply across the denominator, just like that. Now, division is a little bit different, but in a way it's basically the same. Example. Say I have y squared minus 11y plus 24 divided by y plus 6, all divided by y squared plus 5y minus 24 over y plus 6. So this is a fraction divided by another fraction. Another way to write this would be like this. You can say this thing is divided by this thing right here. Okay? So there's two ways to write the same thing. Alright? Now, I want to tell you about a method. It's really cool. It's called the keep, change, flip method. Okay? So I keep this one the same. So I keep the numerator the same. So this stays the same. It's y squared minus 11y plus 24 over y plus 6. I change division to multiplication. So I change to multiplication, and I flip this one. So now this becomes y plus 6. I do the reciprocal over y squared plus 5y minus 24. So that's the keep, change, flip. That's the KCF method. Okay, the KCF method, right? All right. Now, I need to factor I can factor the numerator, I can factor the denominator. So the numerator, this is an a equal to 1, so that's one of our good ones to factor. So multiply to 24, add to negative 11. 8 times 3, if both are negative, that adds to negative 11. So that tells me there's an x minus 8 factor and an x minus 3 factor, okay? And then over here, I've got my y plus 6 there. But then this denominator here, it's a 1 in front, so I can do the quick method, multiply to negative 24, add to 5, so 8 times 3, if that's a negative 8, that's negative 5. If it's a positive 8 and a negative 3, that's a positive 5. So that makes it, I'm sorry, I wrote x's over here. Sorry about that. That shouldn't say x's, that should be y's. So y minus 8, y minus 3. Over here, this tells me it's a y plus 8, and then this one tells me it's a y minus 3. Okay? Now, is there anything that will simplify? Well, before we simplify, what do we have to do? We have to set the denominator equal to 0. So the denominator equal to 0, since we're multiplying, everything just gets put up top, right? And then everything else gets put down low. So if I set the denominator equal to 0, y plus 6 times y plus 8 times y minus 3 equal to 0. That tells me y plus 6 equals 0, y plus 8 equals 0, and y minus 3 equals 0. And so y can't be negative 6, y can't be negative 8, and y can't be 3. Okay? And as long as that's the case, then we can start canceling. So I'm going to cancel the y plus 6 and the y plus 6, the y minus 3 and the y minus 3. And now I'm left with y minus 8 over y plus 8. As long as y does not equal negative 6, negative 8, or 3. Okay? All right, so that is your division. Keep, change, flip. KCF.